everybody, welcome to my channel. How's everybody doing today? Nikki is running around. The neighbor is babysitting a couple Rottweilers and they're barking, so she's looking back and forth to see what's going on. But I hope everybody's doing good today, and I'm doing pretty good. I made something that I haven't had yet in a video. I've had it before. When I was a kid, I haven't had this for a long time. I made it when I was a kid. It's a peanut butter and jelly grilled sandwich. So you do it like a grilled cheese, but you put whatever kind of peanut butter. It looks kind of terrible, I think, but it is so delicious. I use strawberry jelly and peanut butter. You could use the nutty peanut butter, the not so nutty. I had to bring a wet paper towel because I knew this was going to be messy. But you could do whatever kind of peanut butter or jelly or whatever, and you do it just like you do the grilled cheese. You put it in between a little bit of, you don't have to if you don't want the butter or margarine on the outside, but just how you do your grilled cheese, you do it. And so give you a close-up of all that. Not the prettiest, but it tastes really, really good. I think it looks actually pretty good. I have some peaches here, and I have some Cheetos for some crunch. I do have my mic out here, so hopefully it'll pick up some of the crunching. I hope so. Take a bite of this. See, I think it don't look too bad. Hot. Very hot in the center with the jelly in that, but it's so good. It's so sticky though. Because when you do it, obviously the jelly and a little bit of peanut butter goes out to the pan, so it makes it all real super sticky. I can't remember the last time I had this, but it's been a long time. I remember having it as a kid. I always loved it. Yes, I could have just made toast peanut butter and jelly, but I really think this tastes different. To me, at least. Maybe not to other people, but I think it has a different texture and taste when you do it this way. Nice, beautiful peach. I love peaches, but only fresh. I won't eat canned peaches because they're too soft. I like that little bit, I mean, these aren't really that soft. I like them a little softer than this, but I notice in the can they get mushy. I don't like them. It doesn't mean that they, are bad or anything. I just don't prefer it that way. Or, I used to remember, I remember one time I was a little girl, I stayed at my uncle's house, and he was getting everybody ice cream, and I was like, that I didn't like peaches, so I didn't want any. He goes, I'm just gonna give you a little bit. I was like, okay, so just a little bit. He comes with this big bowl of ice cream, and I was young, probably. I'd say under 12, under 10, somewhere in there. It was a huge bowl of ice cream with peaches all through it. But I honestly only like them fresh, like this. And he gave it to me, and then I told him I didn't want to eat it, but then he made me eat some of it. The whole time I remember I was taking the pieces of peach out. I just couldn't stand it. Sounds stupid, but I was just a kid. The actual only fruit that I like canned is pineapple. I obviously prefer fresh over everything. I'm sure everybody does. Fresh is good, but I'll eat pineapple out of the can. But we would go visit him and my aunt. He was my dad's brother. And I was so scared of his place. It was so spooky to me as a little girl. It was right next door to a funeral home for the longest time. It was in Ohio, and it was on a big main street. I don't remember the name of the street or anything, but I know back then, which was late 70s, possibly early 80s, but I think it was late 70s, it was 6 lanes. That was his house. There's a nice sidewalk and then 6 lanes, So they had a back alley that they'd always use to go in and out, to avoid all that traffic. We had many times he would back. Obviously, traffic wasn't like how it is now. You probably couldn't get out of the place now. But they had a back alley that they drive into and go in and out of their yard that way. Now, as I think of the house, it is a big, beautiful house. But as a kid, it was a big, scary house for me. I used to always think it was part of the funeral home too. That's what it reminded me of, because it was very, very old. I don't know what year it was born, but it was pretty old. And it was a kind where you had the big, huge steps to go up into, Is it probably back in the day when it was first built, it's probably very expensive and glamorous, considered, because it was, they weren't rich, but the people that first had the place, they obviously had money, because I'll tell you about the house, why they would, but it was made for rich people at that time. But I mean, it was pretty darn old, so I don't know how old it was. But you'd have these huge stairs. You'd go up to the house door. You get to the door, and there'd be a big, big, huge door with the knockers. And I'm sorry, I amused my. But the knockers on the door that you ding on. You guys, you older people know what I'm talking about, but they'd be there. It was like glass window, and you go in, and this was just like an entryway. It was huge. There's like benches you could sit and hang your coats, and then you'd have to go through another door to go into a house. Then you'd come in, and sorry, it's so sticky. There's a grand staircase going up. It went up. Then there was a platform level with big, huge windows and benches you could sit at and look out. Then you go up another set of stairs. I mean, they all were connected. You go up, and then there was a platform. Then you go up. Then there was a lot of bedrooms there. And then you'd go up again to the servants' quarters. So that's why I said it belonged to a rich family. They didn't have servants, but they stored all their stuff up there. But those last set of stairs, I was always scared to walk by. I don't know, I was always dark and creepy up that way. So I was always scared of it. But the living room was huge. That's why I always thought maybe it was a funeral viewing room, because it was so huge. And they had those fancy sliding doors, and when you first came in, that would be to your right, and then when you go to your left, there was a formal dining room, a big, huge formal dining room with the sliding doors. Then there was another set of sliding doors that go into the kitchen for the servants to bring the food out, and then there was a dining area in the kitchen. And each level had the old-fashioned laundry chutes. You'd just throw your laundry in there, and it goes straight down to the basement into the laundry room. I was always so scared that first floor, the accordance, the servant service, the servant's place. It was just so because nobody ever really went up there when they had it. I'm sure when the people that first owned it, they probably had maids and butlers and them, but they never did. And there's a nice sized backyard. When we were younger, my uncle and his wife did not have kids, so they would always take us and bring us there and take us camping and do all kinds of stuff with us. They were very nice and generous to us. After they had kids, it wasn't so much. I mean, it's understandable, you know, they want to do stuff with their own kids, but they didn't have any, so they would always take us. And he's the one I told you that started with the camper that was pulled along and a little bigger, or tent, than a thing, you know, and the RV was so nice. But in the entranceway, there was a staircase, or you'd go straight back also, back to the back porch area, which was all, I think it was all windowed in, not like a screened or anything. They had a huge piano. And of course, all of us kids thought we were professional piano players. They both were very patient with us because we'd bang on that thing, acting like we knew what we were doing. And they tolerated it. I mean, I probably couldn't tolerate it, so. They both were really nice, but my uncle was probably very, very kind and patient with us. And he really, you know, he loved kids. He did love kids, so I'm glad they finally had some. He's no longer alive. He passed away years ago. Probably about, I was pregnant with my youngest son when he passed away. So I was like towards the end, I couldn't even go to the funeral because I was having complications. So I felt bad, but you know, I had to do what was best for the baby at the time. But my parents took lots of pictures and stuff. But I had lots of fun times there. But it's terrible when you're scared to. I'd go up all the stairs. That's the only part I was scared of. I'd go up all the stairs and I'd go up there. It almost was like a haunted house to me. I used to think it was haunted because it was old, creaky, lots of creaky noises, you know. These are so good. Cheetos. Look at there. It looks like it has ears. My grandmother's house was the same way. It was old and it scared me too. I don't know. But my grandfather built that house. It's no longer standing anymore. My grandmother died. The home went to one of her daughters. And she gave it to her grandchildren. And they tore the house down and sold the property. It's a few acres. It was really nice. But even back then, it was very hustle bustle in Ohio then. I know it was in Cleveland, but I don't know what street it was on. But it was a pretty busy street, but you were able to get out in and out a lot faster than you would today. I can only imagine what it's like now. So I'm glad they had that back alley. And then that back alley, if you'd go out out the back door into the yard and go down the back alley, Nikki's getting Sissy's food. Oh, now she's switching to water. There's like a little store. We used to always run down to that little store. I think it was just a family-owned store. I remember it being really small then. I don't really remember so much about it. Like a little corner store kind of thing. And back then, you could have 25 cents or 50 cents and get a bunch of stuff. I'm not sure they still make them, but I think they probably do. But it's long pieces of bubble gum. It was round, cylinder, round and long, about as wide as my finger, like this, round, but it's really, really long, and it'd be wrapped in a thing. You get different flavors, and we'd buy that. So good. You just break off a piece and chew it. But I remember they had like penny gum when I was young. I'm almost sure even the gumball machines back then were a penny. And then the payphone was only 10 cents. Now you don't even see payphones really hardly anywhere. I mean, they still are out there, but like this. Usually they're up against maybe a convenience store or whatever else. But back then, you'd have them in a little square. It was a little square phone box, which you still see in movies and stuff like that. But I don't think I really see them anymore. It's a big piece. Got a scratch on my arm. Scratch. I was holding Nikki yesterday out on the porch and she scratched me. Not purposely. Okay guys, I am stuffed. Let me know if you ever tried a grilled PB&J or not, and if you liked it or not. I think it tastes a lot different than a piece of toast. I like it a lot better, and then if you do it while it's really super warm, be careful though, it can burn your mouth. But I mean, because that was pretty hot when I ate it. I try to do it right before and have everything set up so I have a nice hot one. So let me know if you ever had one and if you enjoy them. It's just like a little step up from a toasted peanut butter jelly sandwich. I just like the little, the extra crispy, just a little bit of margarine. I get that little extra flavor in there. So if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up, and I hope everybody has a wonderful day, a wonderful evening, depending on where you are. And I love you guys very much. Okay, you guys have a good day. Bye-bye.